Hey ho, Wendy here, Fountain Pen News. I'm so excited to be participating in the 2024 8 Pen Questions tag. I am so thrilled that I am able to do this, and I am looking forward to sharing with all of you, and I appreciate you watching. So to start out, I just want to say thank you, special thank you to Simone and Leanne Likes for arranging this. I know especially Simone has done a ton of work to make sure that there is someone posting a video every day out of March and even into April. And for me as a new creator and a fountain pen lover, I am excited to hear everyone's stories and get to know them better and be part of the community. So thank you so much for that. Be sure to check out the 8 Pen Questions hashtag, and the playlist will be linked in my description. And then also tomorrow, be sure to check out Terry at Drawn and Scribblins. Terry is new to me as well, so I'm excited for that. I have benefited from being late in the month, so I've really appreciated everyone who's already put videos out and inspired me to put together this video in the way that I have. So thank you all so much for coming before. So the first question in the 8 Pen Questions is, when and how did your fountain pen journey begin? I just want to point out here that my stamps from Everyday Explorer say fountain pen friendly and bring out the fancy pen, of course. So my fountain pen journey, the question I guess I would ask back is, which time? I have been into pens and stationery my whole life. And when I was growing up, there was a stationery store in our neighborhood called Paperwares. Anyone remember Paperwares in the old shopping center near us? And Paperwares had all kinds of fun things. They had stickers, and they had paper and pens and pencils and all kinds of wonderful things, and I loved going there. And just as evidence of all of this, I will show you one of my tools situations here in my craft area at my house. I have a fair number of pens of all different varieties, but this time my fountain pen journey began after, in September, I actually fell off a cliff in the mountains hiking. And a lot of people ask about this, so I'm going to share a little bit about that. But this photo shows kind of where we were hiking to. You can see this picture was actually taken exactly 1 week prior, and my daughter and her friend, and I basically fell from right here and kind of off to the right-hand side. I fell down about 20 feet and caught myself hanging over about another 30 to 40 foot drop, and was able to pull myself up and call for help. I broke my leg really bad, but I am so thankful to be alive. It is a miracle. My daughter was an angel and a hero, and during my recovery, I had 2 surgeries. I had a ton of hardware put into my leg, and during that time, I was looking for lap crafts. I sat in a recliner for a while. I was on crutches for 12 weeks, so it was a long haul. And I was looking for lap crafts, and I started out doing watercolor, and then it went to beads and minerals and crystals. And really quickly, I ordered randomly off of the internet a fountain pen. I remembered that I had really enjoyed doing dip pen calligraphy and teaching myself calligraphy when my daughter was a young baby. And so I just thought, oh, you know, that would be fun. Let's get back into that. I had gotten into fountain pens a number of times before with basically beginner pens, and kind of moved away from them. So that is kind of what happened there. So that is the picture of the beautiful area where we were hiking. And then another kind of crazy image that was taken by an emergency responder. This is me right here on the side of this big cliff. So that is how my fountain pen journey began this time. Okay, question number 2. what were your favorite inks in the beginning and what are your go-to inks now? When I first started doing fountain pens, I started out with, Pilot Varsity, and this was blue, and I think I had a set that had a few other colors, pink and purple, but that's kind of where I started years ago with fountain pens. And then another time when I got into fountain pens, I found the Uli brand. And so I had some fountain pens in these colors. I still have refills in these fountain pens, and believe it or not, the Varsity and this both still write. So as I was getting into fountain pens, the inks were whatever I had. And then as I have grown in the hobby and gotten to know what I like, things have changed. One really quick note, I just wanted to say a little bit about recency bias. So I think for me especially, but probably for everyone, our favorite things are often the things that are entered our life most recently. And so for me, I just made this funny little page because these are the most recent inks that I have acquired, and they are my current favorites right now. So that just kind of tells you, I think that it's telling that that's kind of how this hobby rolls sometimes, is that whatever your most recent acquisition is, those are the things that you really love. So some of these I'll just touch on really quick. Seili Shikiori Harahara, the Private Reserve Blue Suede and Avocado were really wonderful. I just love Ajisai, the Herbin Corée de Tropique. This coral color is really beautiful. Sailor Shikiori Yozakura. So those are some that I really loved. And then I did a little bit of chromatography of some of my very first inks, Iroshizuku Kujaku and Ferris Wheel Press Sugar and Spite. So you can kind of see where those go. And then some of the trends in my ink tastes over time have been that I'm going for a lot lighter inks. And you can kind of tell that the saturation from top to bottom is a little different. Sailor Manyohaha, Sailor Ink Studio 173, and Dominant Industry Dawn are all very light colors. I will say that I do have a special love for Octopus Fluids inks. I have ordered them from Cult Pens in the UK. They're a German company, and Violet B is actually one of the parts of my very favorite ink, which is one that I have mixed myself, and I call it WSG Bespoke 1. And it's here. I didn't do a very good job with that swatch, so you can't really tell, but it's sparkly and just a little bit different than the Violet B straight up. So that is question number 2. Question number 3, how have your ink and pen tastes changed over time? As I mentioned, I started out with very entry-level pens. I also got a Pilot Metropolitan pretty early on and a bunch of Jinhao pens. I don't have one. Oh, yes, I do, right here. I have some sitting here. This was one of my very favorite ones, and I actually still really like these. This is the Jinhao X750. That was a really good early pen of mine. And then my first pen over a certain threshold that I bought was this Asvine pen. It's really actually a wonderful pen. It's a beautiful resin. I really have enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it to this day. And so I guess to answer this question about how have they changed over time, they have gotten more expensive, my tastes in pens. I think that there was a slow roll to bring them up and cross over into TWSBI range, and then TWSBI Iris range, and then kind of going up above that. So I have gone through all the stages of the acquisition of varying pens of different values. But now for me, it really boils down to form, function, color, and properties. And so I really like a pen that is going to give me something in a color way, or a design, or a color that I don't have already. So this was an example that I have of a pen done by Anawim Woodworks. I also have this beautiful pen that I got from Karina. That is the Moonlit Rodden, and this is an F3 Pens pen. Super beautiful. And I've seen this on so many people's, even their 8-pen questions, I've seen this come up a lot. This is one of the Sailor Shikiori 4C. No, these are Sound of Rain. This is a Sound of Rain pen. So those have changed a lot. I started out kind of being a medium to broad person. Then I kind of moved and went on to stub and flex. And now I'm actually really appreciating fine and medium fine for my planners, which has been new also. And I am starting to now really look into getting pens secondhand, which is great for the pocketbook and also to keep things moving through the community. Question number 4, are there inks and pens you have yet to try but would like to? And of course, there are inks and pens I would love to try. So I did it basically, I flex. I love flex. I love doing calligraphy. I have a whole bunch of flex options and I use them. Check out my YouTube channel for evidence of that. All the nibs I would like to try. I would like to try all the custom grinds, the obliques, all of those things. I have some pens that I was going to share about this, because why are you here if you don't want to see pens? One of them being this Century 3776, which was ground for me recently by Kirk Spear into an Imperial. So that's kind of smooth cursive italic on the front and then a super juicy broad on the reverse. It's wonderful. And I think being able to breathe new life into our pens through these Nibmeisters is such a gift. And I just appreciate that so much. And he is a pleasure to work with. I highly recommend him. I'm always looking for new experiences and new things. This is something I learned today. This is a Benu Euphoria. And you can just unscrew the section of a Benu Euphoria and screw on the section of a Pilot Parallel. Yes, friends, that is true. This one is an oblique cut one that I really like. You'll see this. I used this a little bit later in my journal flip through. So that is a super fun hack. And then also anything flex that I can get my hands on, I am all for. I would really love to try some Birmingham Pen Company inks. I have some friends working on that for me. I would like to do more ink alchemy, meaning mixing ink myself. I feel emboldened by ink mixers like Amy and Katie, and I appreciate you for making me feel brave to keep doing what I've been doing. I'd like to try some Kobe inks and then more octopus fluids. Of course, those are some of my very favorite inks, and I would love to try more and more of theirs as they are made available to me. Question number 5, what is your Holy Grail pen? I did put a stamp here that says the one pen to rule them all for now, my Grail pen. But the answer to what is your Holy Grail pen for me is, What do you mean by Holy Grail pen? Do you mean that it is something that you need to go on a quest to find? Something that's unobtainable, something that's highly desirable, something that requires a crusade? There are so many ways to define this, and sometimes this is just a wish list pen for a lot of people, and that is okay. For me, a couple of pens have kind of fit in the pens I never thought I'd have category. One of those is this beautiful Rodin Vanishing Point that I love. And for me, one of the things that makes a really special pen is something that hits a lot of markers for me, and this one does. And I have shared this before, but I'll share it again. This is my Zodiac Pen Company Pisces model in the resin Serendipity, and it is a Grail pen for me, if you want to use that term. It is a wonderful, amazing, miraculous pen for me because I longed for a pen like this. I was actually kind of desperate for a pen like this. It is super meaningful to me. Bart contacted me about this pen exactly 6 months to the day after my accident. So I call this my I Survived pen. I love that for that. It's very versatile. I asked Bart to do me this special gift of letting me buy a second section for this pen. So I have both a Bach and a Jowo section for this pen, which is wonderful. And it is unique and loud, just like me. So it's very special. And I wouldn't go so far as to say Grail, because I don't think it's the be-all, end-all. I think I will acquire other pens and love other pens in my lifetime, but it is pretty wonderful. And so for those reasons, I would say this is that pen for me. Question number 6. How many inks do you currently own? I don't know why I wrote it down this way. I think the question is actually how many pens and inks do you currently own? Whatever. I'm giving myself some grace. The answer is none ya. It's none ya business how many pens I have. I will say that I do have a couple funny things here. Can't stop, won't stop. All the pens, can't stop, won't stop, and one in every color. The real answer to this question is that I have plenty of pens and plenty of pens to bring me a lot of joy for a long time. And I'm thrilled about that. And I am so lucky to be in that situation. Question number 7. Do you have a limit on pens or inks? Is it a number? Is it a feeling? How do you know when you have reached your limit? So my answer to this is a little bit nebulous as well, and I'm going to answer it by talking about joy. For me, this most recent iteration of fountain pens has been about healing for me and about pain management and creative outlet and about joy. And so if it's about joy, if it's about healing, yes. If it's about guilt or shame or overwhelm, no, then I will know I have made a wrong turn. So for me, as long as I am enjoying the hobby, as long as I am using my pens and getting joy out of that, I think I'm okay. Question number 8. Consequently, what would you do if another ink or pen came along? I can unequivocally say I would welcome that pen or ink into Wendy Sue's home for wayward pens and inks with open arms. I will tell you the funny joke that we always say in our house, which is, what's the answer to the question, how many more pens do you need? The answer is always just one more. So that is my answer for that question. I decided to break the rules, and I'm breaking the rules by throwing in a bonus question. And the question I've thrown in is, what is your biggest fountain pen secret? And when I say secret, I don't mean like use a bulb syringe to clean out your fountain pens. I mean, do you have anything that you don't tell other fountain pen people? Do you have something that you feel a little, not ashamed of, but you don't want to necessarily broadcast? And I will go ahead and share one of mine. So I don't have a problem dumping a converter or, however much ink I have left in a pen if I am done with it. If I am tired of it, I will move on. And I have a couple of little vials that I've been saving up, just random dribbles of ink into a toxic brew, but I don't have any problem either putting them down the sink. So that is a secret of mine that I feel like is a little bit taboo in this fountain pen community, and I don't talk about it that much, but I thought I'd share that. So share with me, what's your biggest fountain pen secret that you're willing to share? And go ahead and put that in the comments and let us know, or make a video about it. And just one last little thing to say thank you. Thank you to all of you for watching this. Thank you for Simone and Leanne Likes, and thank you to the fountain pen community sincerely, especially my pen pals, those who have signed up to send me letters and receive letters from me. I'm finding a lot of joy in that. And those inspirational creators who have really gotten me to be bold and put myself out there on YouTube. So I really appreciate you, Little Coco Studios, Leanne Likes, Simone. All of you are so, Christy at Optimal Wellness. I just appreciate, Shauna, of course. I'm sorry. If I've forgotten you, I'm sorry. But thank you all. I just appreciate you so much. If you liked this, if you had any fun at all, go ahead and like and subscribe. And I appreciate you. Have a great one. Talk to you later. Pen news. Boop, 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 boop.